The VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 752, recorded on May 14th, 2025.
Hello, and welcome to the 752nd edition of the TD Gaming Podcast and 585th episode of Video Game Roundtable. I am TJ Dunzer.
I am Scott Dirk.
And I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry.
Right. I could have done a gaming podcast, but I'm tired. I am back from LA. Well, I've been back for the past couple of days, but so many gigs along the way, I had to delay it till now, but we're back in case thought anything happened. Nope. Just took our time off, and I'm pretty sure all our viewers are playing Doom right now. It was just live an hour ago. For the general public, I mean, if you got the a certain edition, you could have played it 5 days early.
Yeah, it's out there now, and well, from what I've seen.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the three new Dooms have each had their own personality, and the personality of Doom: The Dark Ages is that you feel like a tank. You're heavy, everything's heavy. You're not speaking long. It's sort of like the game encourages you to go straight in and wade right in. No hiding back to get things for health. No, you just come in and smack people around.
That's what the devs were aiming for in their video when they talked about this game. They wanted you to be this big tank that just goes in there and brawls with the enemy. Seems to be 3,000 players playing Doom right now.
Also, the Dark Ages, the vibe and flavor of it, like the way from everything I've seen so far, this feels about as close as we've got to a modern version of Quake as we're probably going to get until they finally do Quake.
Yeah. Although this game is a little bit talkier now too, a lot more dialogue.
Exciting! I'm really good. I'm excited to jump into that one and see how it goes.
Yeah. So that's not what we've been playing. Let's talk about what we have been playing. I've been playing a lot of Blueprints. I've gotten far, and I know that you can actually, when you start the game, you can actually get into the thing on day one.
Yeah.
Once you unlock everything, it's sort of like, oh well, try and get it in day one.
I am stumped by that game so far. I'm on like day 13, and I still have yet to
which day?
Even come close to like the lair beneath where the actual room is.
Wait, which day are you on?
13.
Okay, I'm on day 89.
The commissary is closed right now for me, and the rooms are not like, I'm not getting the right rolls. I'm just not getting the right rolls as far as like what rooms I need drafting for. I've figured out most of the puzzles in the rooms I've had access to.
There are certain rooms that you need.
I'm gathering that too, because I got the first. I guess it's called the Foundation. It's one of the first rooms that you get that can be like permanently placed.
Where you find it, and it'll be there. If you're smart, you'll have placed it near your entrance.
I wasn't.
Then you go down, and actually, when you manage to access the basement, there's actually a puzzle you can get to get around certain things. I learned that you can get the jackhammer, and there's a second way you can get to access the room by using the jackhammer it's one of those things in which you take certain tools and you combine them on a workbench. And then you find out, the coat check is really, really valuable because you can leave it at the coat check and not have to lose it when you get back. Also, it's great whenever you find an upgrade disc. It's sort of like Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But, one of the rooms I got turns the the place with the dartboard. It actually turns it into the break room, and if you end your day there, at the beginning of the next day, you get the card.
Oh, nice.
To get in.
That's rad.
Its status as a roguelike makes it a little frustrating because no matter how much you still are at the whims of the game.
Yeah, those random like once you start getting towards like I think level 6 through like 5, 6, and 7, it gets really hard to get the right rooms to be able to make the right path.
Also, you need the breaker and the garage because with the breaker you can turn on the what is it called again? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
the card reader system.
The garage door open. It can open, and you can go to that thing, which gives you one outside room.
Oh, nice.
And here's the thing: one of the things you have to do is start opening gas valves at certain places, like the gem mine and the schoolhouse, so that when all four of them light up, it lifts the gate, lifts the entire gate, so you have access. So it's Also, I did not know this. The safe codes are all in the room, but you have to figure out what the gate codes are from what's in the room. Like one of the rooms has a king chess piece on a certain part of a chessboard, and from there you can derive the safe code from that. To give one away for free in the office, it's 0303. And that's the nice thing. Once you learn a code, it's there forever because I only found one use for that magnifying glass, and that's to see the computer password. That's the only thing you really need that magnifying glass for. Have you found the computer password?
I did. I
So Swan
password.
you,
Yeah.
you only know that because you use on one letter you use the magnifying glass, so you can see the word there. Otherwise, the magnifying glass is useless. But yeah, I mean,
Really?
what you really need to do is get the garage door and the breaker box.
Huh.
Because what happens is you just turn on the garage door, and that also at the breaker box you can turn off the lights at the gymnasium, the one that takes away 2 steps from you if you go through it. Every time you go through it, turning off the lights there removes that.
Huh.
I don't think it's the gymnasium, but it's the one with the basketball hoops. The gymnasium is the one that really screws you up. It takes away half your steps.
Yes. That one sucks so badly.
But here's the thing. If you get to a certain point, you can start the game each day with 70 footprints. And also, if you keep collecting the allowance, right now I have 14 gold coins as my allowance. But yeah, I was shocked to read from the game itself. It tells me there are 17 special keys. 17 of them? Really?
That's a lot of keys. I have only been able to find, I think, the silver key so far.
One of the most annoying things is that I never get the vault and the luxury item store at the same time. The luxury item store has items that cost 60 coins, and the vault gives you 40 to 50, something like that, some incredible amount.
There's also a freezer that allows you to freeze your cash for the day and keep it for the next day.
Also, if you get the furnace, but you have to keep the furnace away from the freezer, because if you get the freezer and then you get the furnace and it's far away enough, it'll melt everything in the freezer so you can get all the goodies that are in there.
Oh, nice.
But here's the problem with the furnace. If it's too close, everything starts to melt and you start to lose items because they're melting. So it's a tricky bonus. But yeah. It's also another game that I've been playing, and I need to look back and see what it was that I've been playing a lot of. Oh yeah, I finally started playing Dredge. So
that's a good one too.
It's nothing mind blowing. It's good. I'm working on getting the 3rd tier of my boat. That stupid octopus at the bottom of that thing. It's annoying. Also, that anglerfish that attacks your boat at night. Yeah, there's probably other stuff that I've been playing, but I don't remember. Because I did purchase, because it's coming out tomorrow, that game. And it's a shame because it's another roguelike in which you're putting down rooms. Except in this case, you're laying rooms and then you're walking through them. And basically, you have to remember where you put them. It doesn't give you a mini map. You got to remember where you put those rooms when you put them down, or else you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, what have you been playing, TJ?
Been spending about 90% of my free time playing Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. It's a good Fatal Fury game. The marketing leading up to the last end of it wasn't great and kind of fucked things up a bit, I'd say. But still a good game. I enjoy playing it. I'm playing the wrestler in the game, Tizok, or Griffin Mask.
You mentioned this last time.
What's that?
You mentioned this last time that you were that character was available.
Yes. So I've been digging into him pretty hard. He's probably going to be the character that I take to competition, just because, like, for one, I'm doing things with him that I haven't seen other players that play the character do, and I think it's working out pretty well. And for two, I just think it's a fun character. And more than anything, if the aura of the character is good, I'll put up with having some weaknesses. And Tizok has all aura, so I'm taking him into battle at Evo. The other thing I've been playing is Clair Obscure, Expedition 33.
Oh, I've been playing more of that too. By the way, you know the weird thing about that game is that the monsters can be as tough as they want, but if you know how to dodge, parry, and jump, they will never touch you. They will do no damage. But that's the entire point. You need perfect timing just to make sure, But you can go through the game, no matter how hard the enemy is, if you know how to dodge, parry, or jump, they can't touch you.
Some of those enemies are so gaslighty with their timings on attacks. Just winding up for like 4 full seconds before they finally take the swing. And I understand.
They do. There is a noise. There is a little what's called clue that they're about to attack when they do it.
Mm.
And but what really killed me is the guys that go like this. They turn back, they swing, and they take a pause, and then they swing the opposite way. And it's sort of like you have to be ready for that. And you also have to be 2 or 3 attacks, because then they'll swing again if it's a 3-attack guy.
There was a small segment. It was like a Nevron fighting ring where you can take on a few of them. And boy howdy, the first 2 are easy, and then the last one is like I was screaming at my TV with.
I beat him. I had no problem with it. But here's the thing: did you challenge the leader to a fight?
I don't think I've had the chance yet, just because I didn't
fight them, and a single hit, you're down. Boom, that's it.
Wow.
But so here's the thing about this game: it's so dark and depressing for the first 2 hours, and then it gets goofy.
It does.
It does get goofy. Those characters are just weird. They just love to fight. And
I love the joviality of it as they get deeper into the world, because it is like a really sad starting premise. But
and then you by the way, this is not a spoiler because it's my speculation, but the old guy that you meet that wipes out your team, that's you.
Kind of wonder about that too, but we'll see what happens.
And the character with him was the younger character. Here's how I knew, because you can change her hairstyle, and her hairstyle is exactly as the girl that's with the old guy.
We'll see.
I see where this is going. I don't know if it's right or not, but it seems like you're going to be facing yourself.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I will say, though, that it's probably the best turn-based RPG I've played in a good long time.
It's the Frenchest game I've played in a long time.
This game is
dripping with French, and a lot of people are actually setting it to French-speaking voice and English subtitles.
Yeah. I haven't moved it off English voices yet, but I am curious about how good the French is.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about this game.
Yeah, and the acting, even the English version, is really, really good.
The inspirations that they had for this too, as they built it, it's a who's who gallery of good RPGs that built this game. They talked about Legend of Dragoon, Shadowheart.
Combat is directly from what was it, Final Fantasy IX? Or
it looks like it's more from Legend of Dragoon, the way that the timing events work on the attacks.
I know that Final Fantasy IX was one of their biggest inspirations.
But they also called out Chrono Trigger, Shadowheart's Revenant. What was it? The one that was on Xbox 360 with the Immortal
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey. They called that one out as a big inspiration, and so it's like the stuff that they pulled from to make this game is an incredible menagerie of good RPG style, and it comes together pretty good so far.
No, not coincidentally, I actually re-uploaded Blue Dragon, and I plan to replay that at some time because I never finished it.
It's a good time for RPGs.
So yeah, but like I said, I did not expect the game to get as goofy as it was, because these characters, like, we have these giant big robots and we're gonna attack because guess what? We like to attack. We just like to fight.
Yeah.
We don't hate you. We just want to fight, and we don't mind if we get beat up. So yeah, that's just so strange. It was like I went from Schindler's List to a Studio Ghibli film.
You can't be somber and sad for 60 hours.
True, but leave it to the French. I mean, and the thing is that, I wasn't expecting these characters to be smiling while they were here. Like, now that we got past being wiped out on the beach, it's sort of like they're starting to enjoy being where they are. They're like, wait a minute. Then you have to wonder why no one's ever returned.
Well, the world is beautiful and colorful. I would start to forget why I'm angry about it if I was spending a lot of.
And the fact that the name of the big villain is the Paintress sort of tells me there's going to be some sort of meta ending. It's going to be a meta ending in which they find out they're computer game characters. It's happened before. I mean, it's happened with both. Undertale is based on that premise. When Flowey says, "Yeah, we know we're video game characters and we know you're God." The same thing is going on here. It feels like the Paintress is having some sort of creative sterility. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that the old guy from the beginning is actually our hero and his friend. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm glad that the game wasn't dour the entire way through, and they went all the way on to. I was expecting a chocobo race at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how it plays out though, because I'm still pretty early on. I just got past. I just got past the water area, so I'm
a little bit beyond that. Oh,
I'm headed for the Crimson Forest right now.
Speaking of depressing, I also was playing South of Midnight too. And that game, you know how goofy what's it called? Claire Obscura Me is. South of Midnight is the opposite. It's kind of goofy, but then it gets in some really dark shit. Like, your missions are always dealing with, this guy took his autistic brother and got him blamed for crimes, and he got executed for it. And the entire thing is about him self-blaming, and then you have to. It's just so friggin' dark, and yet so goofy, but it hides a lot of darkness. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about the game's art style is that it tries so hard to be. I'm not going to say claymation. It's sort of like a cross between claymation and South Park, in which it's 3D, but it's sort of like paper mache. Everything's paper mache. Have you played anything of South of Midnight yet? It's worth it. It's really worth a thing. The combat is very Sekiro. It's very, your basic Batman Arkham setup. But it's also difficult. The combat it actually ramps up without you realizing it. And it's only because you have to start memorizing where everything is on the battlefield. So, yeah. Scott, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Lunar 2. I finished the first one, and so this one, the second one takes place about 1,000 years after the first game, and a lot has happened, and it looks like after you've saved the world from Galleon. There's 4 orders that are started, and there's like this white dragon defense force that is going around trying to, like, I guess, keep the area safe from this return of this Dark Lord or whatever. And you play this I guess roguish treasure hunter guy. So you're not a dragon master this time around. And then it appears that someone named Lucia comes from the Blue Planet, and she's coming there to talk to the goddess Daldina. So you're escorting her there, and the combat is a little bit the same, I think, but like the UI is a little bit better in the second game, and this is of course the remaster. But I'm enjoying it. I'm still in the beginning of the early part of the game.
Yeah. So this reminds me of there's a lot going on with Hearts 4. Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming, but there's something else going on. It's like, anyways. So we're gonna move on to quick news. Bam Margera has been officially confirmed for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Hold on. Bam Margera has been confirmed for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
You wrote about this, TJ.
Did you not ever watch Viva La Bam?
No.
Aw.
I never played Tony Hawk 3 and 4. I only played Tony Hawk 2X.
I grew up on that shit. Yeah. So, anyways, yes, Bam Margera has been confirmed for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. Now,
I remember that there was a little mini controversy. They might not be in it.
So the full story behind this is that Bam Margera has been kind of on a downward spiral for more than a decade. He got big into he got huge into alcohol to the point where he was sloppy enough that he ended up getting fired off of the last Jackass movie. He has reportedly been through rehab a few times, but when it came to like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, there was speculation that like because of the way things were going, he might not make it in, and Activision didn't want to work with him. Tony Hawk reportedly like got in touch with Activision and Bam Margera and like spearheaded making sure that they didn't leave Bam out of the game. Because, like, he is a part of that history, regardless of what state he's in. Like, the guy is half of the later Tony Hawk games. Where, like, in Tony Hawk's Underground, he's like one of the main guys in both Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2. So you couldn't really say it's a proper remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 without Bam, and he's going to be in the game. So that's cool, and it sounds like he's kind of gotten himself put back together over this situation.
You can really get drunk on a video game. I mean, you only need to record him once.
He's also been heading over to Tony Hawk's personal skate park and sort of getting back into skating and getting back on his board, which for someone his age and his health, that's pretty impressive. I'm happy to see it.
Here's a question for you: which is going to come first, a Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2 remaster, or Tony Hawk 6?
I would like it to be Tony Hawk 6 because I don't think the Tony Hawk Underground games are all that good. However,
Wasteland?
Huh?
What was the other one? Wasteland or?
There was Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2. There was Tony Hawk's Ride, which was the one that had like the board peripheral that you stood on. There was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which was god awful.
You know, it was a disaster. Yes.
And then yes, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, which I think could be considered like a successor to Underground.
The only complaint that some players are having right now is that 4 will not be an open world. It's going to be a time thing, just like the other one. Here's the thing. Why don't you just make
in the original?
Yeah.
In the original, they had like NPCs out in the world that you ran into and took your missions from. But it sounds like they're taking those levels and converting them over to like the 2-minute drill kind of skate level that they've been doing with all the other stuff. Which Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 levels are bigger than other levels because of that open world thing. So I hope they actually kind of give us more time on those levels.
Yeah, I have a feeling that one of the ways you can do it is by allowing you to get 20, 30, 40. You know what would be nice is if they give you missions on the 4 levels that are 2 minutes, and then if you complete them, 5 minutes. Those 10
Nice.
Those 30 minutes. I'm not saying that's what's in it, but that would be an interesting way to do it, just to work to increase the time that you can have on a level until you.
Going back to your question really quick, though, I will say Tony Hawk himself has said that he wants to campaign for the Underground games to get remade. So if he has his way, it's probably going to be Underground that gets remade next.
But you can do a remake and also an original game at the same time. Now that there's a lot.
True.
It's not Vicarious Visions though. I think Iron Galaxy worked on 3 and 4, right?
Yes, correct.
The thing is that they're really, really, really good at taking old licenses and still keeping. And here's not only do they know how to remaster, but they also know how to do it in the previous person's style. So it's going to feel like it was something done by the original devs. And often, they hire they have consultants come in from the previous thing and say, okay, how did you do this? That's what they did with Killer Instinct. They actually went to the previous devs and said, hey, how did you do this? And the previous devs also did that too.
Yeah. Well, it's looking good so far. I'm really excited to play Tony Hawk 3 levels again because
coming out this month.
What's
I
that?
already have it pre-installed.
What do you have pre-installed?
Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to play Tony Hawk 3 levels again because the cruise ship from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is maybe one of the best Tony Hawk levels of all time, in my opinion.
Okay. The original Stalker trilogy is getting an enhanced edition upgrade on PS5, Xbox Series SX, and the PC. With Tony Stalker 2 having just recently come out, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of interest in the first 3 games.
It feels like interest in the first 3 games has risen since Stalker 2 came out because a lot of people, I see people say that the original games. What's up?
Are they complaining that the original Stalker trilogy is too hard?
Well, I've heard them say that the immersive world of it is more. Well, I'm saying the live elements of the world are more immersive in that game than they are in Stalker 2, which I like Stalker 2 a lot, so I'd be interested to see what that looks
Stalker
like.
1 was basically made as a single-player experience.
Yeah.
They're reacting to. Not everything is built around the multiplayer. It's built around you are in this space. And it's funny that Tony Hawk, that Stalker and Metro 2033 went hand in hand in this sort of thing. So I think if there was no Stalker, there would have been no Metro 2033. Atlus is teasing the next Persona game, and there's going to be a live stream this week.
Oh yeah, there's also a Suikoden stream happening on the 15th. I can mention this.
Yeah, Atlus is very active right now. So, Persona 6, what do you expect?
I don't know because the Persona games are vastly different from one another in their styles. I
heard a lot of complaints about 5 though.
Regular Vanilla 5 got a lot of complaints, but Royale kind of fixed everything. That said, they've also kind of applied 5's style back through the other games a bit. So I wonder if they're kind of going to just stick with that and keep doing what Persona 5 does aesthetically. Because they went and applied that whole style to Persona 3 in the remake of that, which was good. I liked it a lot. but also like Persona 3 and Persona 4 kind of had their own flavors before Persona 5 came along and captured everybody's hearts. So it's going to be interesting to see if Persona 6 actually deviates from that, or if it's like Persona 5 2.
I'm not that much of an expert at the Persona games.
Yeah, I haven't played Persona
Super
either.
Live broadcast is set for the 15th, featuring a Star Leap and series introduction.
Interesting.
Also,
yeah, I'm interested to see what that ends up being then.
Oh, they're going to cover the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster and a series introduction of the first time in Suikoden, which seems to tell me that there's an anime adaptation of Suikoden 2 coming as well.
Yep, and they're doing a manga for the Star Leap story, and they're doing an orchestra, and they're doing a play for the first game. It's pretty intensive, I think, how much they're investing into Suikoden.
When was the last one? Suikoden 5?
Yes.
So this one is taking place a little bit after Suikoden 5.
Yeah, it's
right. 1,
the Star Leap is going to be between 1 and 5, and there's apparently going to be in different eras somehow.
But they'll be returning characters.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I have not played Suikoden. And I'm still I'm right now still stuck on 100 Heroes. I haven't touched it in a while. I should get back to it, but I haven't been able to. Have you finished 100 Heroes, Scott?
Yes, I finished that, I think, last year.
Okay. Which tells me how long I haven't been playing it.
Yeah. They came out with the DLC for 100 Heroes, so that's all out now.
Anyways, we're going to move on to game news. This is half an hour old. Valve issues a statement refuting claims of a Steam data security breach, and this comes from Shack News. Valve has officially acknowledged reports of a potential Steam data security breach. The company states the event is not a breach of Steam systems, but in fact a leak of old text messages. The news of the data breach surfaced on social media. User Mellow Online made a post outlining what was thought to have occurred. This includes an alleged 89 million user records being breached, with a data set being sold for over $5,000. While there is no data security, or we claim there's no data security breach or compromised data, Valve reminds users always worth being suspicious of unprompted security messages. Here's the thing: I changed my password, if only because you should occasionally change your password.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I'm not going to trust Valve one iota on this. Even if they're telling the truth, I'm not going to trust them. There's no reason to not change your password anyway. I mean, I do have two-factor authentication with it as well, but you know.
Yeah, I do two-factor on a lot of stuff these days too, just because like, even if somebody does get their hands on your password through that, they'd have to still go through my email and something else to get to my actual account.
Yeah, the problem is that there is non-secure data about you on your account anyway. And all you need is for someone to know that your account exists, to start spamming you. And, you know, even if they know you just exist, it's a bad thing. So, even if your passwords are changed, you're still worse off.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyways, we're going to move on to the next item. Go ahead, DJ.
All right. Ubisoft moving, quote, some of our biggest projects into 2026 and 2027 after positive impact of Assassin's Creed Shadows delay, from Eurogamer. Ubisoft says it has postponed several of its biggest productions currently in development in order to grant them more time in the oven, after previously delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows in order to provide further polish. Exactly which games these were are not named by Ubisoft during its financial results broadcast, though an investor call listened to, though in an investor call listened to by Eurogamer, Ubisoft boss Yves Guillemot suggested that the impacted titles came from the publisher's top 5 brands, including Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, The Division, and Ghost Recon. Guillemot said that Shadow's delay had been a good decision to deliver a really strong quality, and that the delayed projects would now launch beyond the current financial year ending March 31st, 2026, and either the following year ending March 2027 or the year ending in March 2028. What's coming this year then? Ubisoft lists Anno 117 Pax Romana, its long-delayed Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, Rainbow Six Mobile, and the Division spin-off Resurgence, as well as, quote, other titles to be announced at a later stage. Assassin's Creed Shadows will get its first major expansion later this year, while Rainbow Six Siege gets its big X update in June. There's no mention at all of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
And there never will be.
Jeez. Oh, poor Good and Evil 2. That game, I want that game to be real and exist and be good. And I fear it's not going to.
It'll be coming out the same time as Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Oh my god.
Actually, there's more going on with Bloodlines 2 than there is with Beyond Good and Evil 2. At least we know what's happening with it. Got a new developer, and they're working on it from the ground up. So,
yeah.
But things happen better when you take a year between. When you don't go yearly. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the first we've heard anything at all about Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake since June 2024. Like, it has been a while since they said anything about that game.
I just want a sequel to Prince of Persia 2008.
That would be nice.
I really love that game, but we're never going to have a resolution to that story. That was the cel-shaded one, with the ending that everybody did not like, but I loved. So.
They did a good job with Shadows, though, for the most part, it seems. Like, it seems more focused than the open world games that they've done in the past, which I haven't jumped into it yet, but I'm more interested to jump into it than I have been with, like, Odyssey or the Viking one, or Ragnarok.
The fact they're coming out with an expansion says a lot, because remember, Dragon Age, the Veilguard did not get an expansion. Mass Effect Andromeda did not get an expansion. You don't give expansions to games that are dead in the water. So.
Yeah. And it looks... I've seen a lot of people excited for Anno 117 as well. Like,
yeah, I tried to like Anno 1800, but it just wasn't there for me.
I've played a little bit of those games. I forget which one I played. I think it was the one before 1800. But,
you got the one with the future and the ecological message one?
Yes.
Anno 24 or something?
Yes, I did. That was the one I fiddled with. And I remember liking that game. I remember it's an interest. It kind of felt similar-ish to Frostpunk, but a little less unforgiving than Frostpunk.
Yeah, it was Anno 2205.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see more strategy stuff come out of Ubisoft. I like the Anno series.
Yeah. So this is for Scott. Minecraft is finally getting craftable saddles after a 15-year wait.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of those anyway, so it's like meh. I mean, you find enough dungeons, you find enough saddles, and I don't know what to do with the ones I have, so I don't really need to craft any.
But now you can craft your own.
Yeah.
Did you ever go? Wait, did you go see the movie yet?
Oh, I haven't seen the movie now.
Okay, it's funny. Critics are shitting on it, but fans of the game are actually enjoying it a lot. So
that's good. I'm glad they are enjoying it. I mean,
so the thing is that it tries to get in. The problem with it is it tries to get in so many references to the game. Like, here, you know this, right?
It's a very meta story, and I guess I was more wanting something not meta. But
Oh, you mean like Telltale game?
yeah,
Telltale game.
yeah. Telltale, yeah. That's a good example because that was in world, and it didn't jump the fourth wall. It had its own little story going on, and it felt like a Minecraft universe. Whereas this is like, hey, we're all people, and we're all in my. It's like Isekai. It's like an Isekai story.
You know what?
And
Here's the thing. The Lego movie was an excellent movie, and too many people wanted to get in on that.
yeah, that's probably true. Too many cooks in the kitchen, I guess. I don't
I
know.
just mean people saw how well the Lego movie was and said, they made a great movie and it was still product placement. Let's do it too. You had the Emoji movie.
Oh, that.
And you
Oh,
have all
I
these
did
other.
not watch that.
Then you had Ralph Breaks the Internet, which was basically the Emoji movie except with Ralph in it. So, anyways, another minor item that you might find interesting, and this is for TJ. You know that Claire Obscure was actually going to be Steampunk London. And it was going to be called We Lost. So it was in a steampunk town and fantastical boss buildings and even a sci-fi thing. So it became Claire Obscure after. Hey, you know what? They should make another game that's just like that. I mean, a lot of people love Bloodborne, so why not make a Bloodborne version of Claire Obscure? By the way, for those who don't know, Claire Obscure is French for chiaroscuro.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But like I said, next week we'll probably be talking about Doom. We'll have played Doom. We'll have opinions on Doom. And I will also have played the other new game. God, it's such a stupid name, but it's the game that's basically dungeon roguelike. So, anyways, look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net, along with industry news and our gaming history articles. If you enjoy, if you like, some comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also, hit us up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us everywhere and leave us comments wherever you find us. You can find me on Blue Sky at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
You can find me at Scott Dirk or Charge, whatever.
Is it Shard the second or Shard the? What was it again?
Shard the Sage.
Shard the Sage, yeah. And we will see you next week with a longer episode.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.